Good layout design is not accidental. What looks simple on the page is often controlled by an invisible structural system guiding every line, margin, and visual elements. Now, how we professionals think about design is different from how you readers perceive it. Today, we'll explore how professional designers use grid to create order, to create clarity, and to ensure that contents are readable. So, come with me. Let's begin this journey. Let me know that you're here. You're here. All right. Having done that, we're looking at visual architecture and page grids, which is our last lecture in this particular. Right. Now, this lecture advances from the basic layout understanding between lecture 9 and lecture 11. So a structured visual system used in professional publishing environments. What we're considering here is that we're focusing on how designers use grid, how they use this grid system to create consistency, to ensure that there is alignment, to ensure that there is some level of order and there's clarity, predictable reading flow, hierarchy, alignment, and this is a core transition point into professional level layout thinking. Are you ready for this? If you're ready for this, let me know you're ready for this. Ask a question to show and to tell us what you know, what you already know, or if you have questions to ask. Please put that in the comment. These are some of the things that contribute to your engagement metrics. Again, we're looking at the grid system. And by the end of this lecture, I will be walking you through some things that will develop your analytical design thinking. You will understand what the grid system is, how it works. You will understand how to identify the different types of layout grid. You will be able to move to the level of applying the grid logic to page structure and evaluate layout inconsistency wherever they exist. No, layout inconsistency is a common thing and you need to know it. But first, think about this. How this lecture will develop your analytical design thinking, where and that you're not seeing it as a decoration, but you see it as a system, a structure, and a controlled mechanism. And what are you trying to control? What are you trying to engage? It's your audience, your readers. If you don't start thinking about this, you already failed from the beginning. Now, what is grid system? A grid system is a structured framework. A structured framework. A structured framework that controls the placement of text. It controls the placement of text. A structured framework that controls the placement of text. An image positioning. When you are controlling text, you're also controlling images. You're aligning them for consistency. You're ensuring that you have some spatial sense and influencing the spatial reasoning of your readers. This is paramount and sacrosanct. Now, a grid is not visible to the readers, but it governs everything the reader sees. It ensures predictability. It ensures order. It ensures professional consistencies. Without grids, layout becomes visually unstable. Yes, visually unstable. That bad. Now, have a look at this. Have a look at this. What you see here, make that bigger. What you see here is what a grid system is. With a grid system, the text is organized like you can see here. And then right here, it looks scattered. Image positioning, you see that? With grid system, you have this. Without grid, it's just scattered everywhere. It can just be scattered everywhere. And alignment is key. This with grid, look at how alignment is. Without alignment, it could just be anyhow. This thing looks dynamic and cool, but not necessarily. So, your spatial reasoning really matters. From base to what the grid system is very key. Is very key. All right. Why grid matters in publishing? Why does it really matter? No, grids is very important. They are very important in live, in buildings, in everywhere in the environment. In fact, I would say God even uses grid system in nature. Consistency across pages in the book context, visual balance in the book context, efficient reading flow in the book context, very important. Production efficiency in the book context, very important. Think about all of these things. Now, grid reduces cognitive loads for readers. When alignment is inconsistent, navigation becomes very intuitive. Content feels unstructured and unreliable. So you need to understand the fact that if you have a clear understanding of the grid system, you'll be able to align and place things the way. All right. I hope you're enjoying these lectures. So now, each grid serves a different function, and we have different types. We have the manuscript grid, we have the column grid, we have the modular grid, we have the baseline grid. Take note of these things. I'll show you each of them in a bit. The manuscript grid is text-heavy pages. Column grid is newspaper for and magazines, and modular grid is complex mixed content and vertical alignment control. Now, have a look at this. Manuscript grid. Manuscript grid. It is used for novels, for academic text. It is used for continuous prose. Let's just make this bigger. Let's go. Let's make this bigger. All right. Better still. Yeah, it's used for continuous prose like long essays. So just ignore that. All right. Now, this is what it looks like. Essay like. Yeah. And then we have the other kind of system, which is the column grid, using magazines, using newspapers, using reports. And this is what it looks like. Have a close look at this. Are you familiar? In fact, in the early days, a printout of something like this is used to plan how pages of newspapers will look like. All right. Now, this is providing some clarity. Now, we have the modular grid. I think for me, this is one of the most interesting kind of grids. It's used for textbook, design heavy publications, and then it is used also for mixed media layout. So this is what it looks like. You see that? It looks dynamic, looks playful, and more. If you remove the lines of the grids, it becomes nice. So, and what is a grid? What now, remember, this is modular. But in this context, what is a module? Module is this thing. Yeah. These are modules. These little boxes are module. If you're familiar with computer science, if you've seen some dashboard, some panels, you see modules, black chips. So it's like a module. That's why they call them module. So this is like a modular system. You understand? All right. If you've seen a solar panel before, they are built in modules. You understand? And it's a principle that's also applied to design. It looks good. If you look at solar panel, it just looks nice because it's design that is speaking. All right. Now, this is what it looks like. Module, you see, that's what I just explained, the column, and then we have the column and rows. And so the gutter is spacing between them. You can see that. And then the folio is a page number. Folios are called page numbers, and we have the markers, we have the margins. So, and these are the 5 systems that I've spoken about, the different systems that exist. This is your manuscript. Be very, very careful in understanding all of these things. So, all right, let's move. Now, baseline grid, let's talk about this. Baseline grid is line by line alignment, vertical reading consistency, and typographic stability. It ensures line by line alignment, vertical alignment, and it's like the normal notebook that we use in school. Yeah, this is what it looks like, just the normal standard note. And this is what they used to teach you handwriting because it's guides, is the baseline system. All right. So, and then we have what it looks like. It looks like this in reading. So the baseline grid is one of the most important professional tools. It shows that text align perfectly across pages. Reading remains stable. You understand that? Now, poor baseline control results in a visual disorder. So you need typographic stability. This is what it looks like. This is what it's like. So take note of that. All right. So now we're drawing to the end of a course. And the grid system, take notes, it supports headline writing, headline placement, headline design, body text, caption. It supports images. And it's very important that you know that hierarchy must be visually structured. Grid helps distinguish primary information, secondary information, and supporting element. Without hierarchy, readers will lose orientation of your text. So the common grade mistake is that you are ignoring. If you ignore alignment rules, you're failing with grades. Sometimes when you are moving your design on Canva, you see that there's a snap, there's an invisible line that appears. Those are grades. So don't stop mixing inconsistent spacing with each other. Ensure that there are some element of balancing. Even if you're being creative about it, follow some balancing. There are suggestions on this on the frame each time. So balance column structures and also ensure that overcrowding is discouraged. Overcrowding layouts is discourage it. Yes, don't follow that overcrowding. Beginners designer often you treat it as optional, which is not supposed to be. The grid system is meant to lead you because lead you. If you don't follow it, it leads to chaos. It leads to weak readability. It leads to poor professional quality. And grids must be respected, not ignored. So, students, you're not just designing, you're feeding yourself. Yes, and if you've done this before, awesome. If you haven't, try something. Yeah. You are constructing a structural framework, you are learning something special. So look at a page, identify the grid structure, check the alignment, evaluate the consistency. Now it's time for us to engage. Why do professional books look clean even when content is complex? Why? Type your comments in the chat. Reply to at least 2 comments. I'll be here waiting for watching. All right. Thank you for engaging and for doing all of those things. Now, I appreciate you all. You are now a pro. Structure creates clarity, grades creates order, consistency creates professionalism. Go into the world and become light, and continue to show how much you've learned and leave it. Don't forget it. God bless you and bye.